Former President Trump responding today to the DOJ's latest court filing.
Made some comments on Truth Social there, sort of a flurry of posts, John.
He did. He said, quote, "Terrible the way the FBI during the raid of Mar-a-Lago threw documents haphazardly all over the floor and then started taking pictures of them for the public to see. Thought they wanted to keep them secret. Lucky I declassified." Also this, whatever happened to nuclear, a word that was leaked early on by the FBI and the DOJ and the fake news media.
And Trump's posts come after the Justice Department issued a 54-page filing laying out its case of obstruction. It also released this photograph here. Clearly, it was laid out, staged here, of some of the records inside Trump's Mar-a-Lago home. Now, the DOJ says it has evidence that classified documents were deliberately concealed from the FBI when it tried to retrieve them back in June. That is their claim.
The Justice Department's filings come ahead of Thursday's court hearing before U.S. District Judge Eileen Cannon. That'll take place in West Palm Beach. She is weighing former President Trump's request to appoint a special master to review the seized documents. Now, a review, the DOJ says, is unnecessary and would, quote, significantly harm important governmental interests, including national security interests. Joining us now for more on this is Congressman Andy Biggs. He's a member of the House Judiciary Committee. Great to see you, Congressman.
Thanks, John.
Let's start with your reaction to the DOJ's latest court filing and its rejection of the idea that a special master is needed here. How do you think the judge rules on this tomorrow?
Well, if she's going to be consistent, the judge that is going to be consistent with other high-profile search warrant cases and seizures, so then I think she's going to grant that request for special master. The reality is, it's not unusual, it's not out of the ordinary for these types of cases. And for instance, Rudy Giuliani, they used a special master for evidence ostensibly seized in that case. So I believe she's going to go ahead and grant that special master. And I think, there's a whole host of things to discuss here with regard to basically what I would call a preemptory strike for public relations by the Department of Justice with that photograph that they put out there.
Well, we got some time here. Go ahead and tell us what you want to say about that photograph.
Yeah, I think it was staged. I think you see kind of an evidence placard card down there, and nothing that's there has anything to really do with the warrant, at least with the affidavit, that the unredacted part certainly, but nothing to do with the allegations that they're trying to make against President Trump. And I find it to be almost comical, kind of a heavy-handed or ham-handed way to try and sway the public here. At the same time, they're claiming things like he doesn't have standing as the former president of the United States to even request a special master when it's his home that was searched and these documents that may belong to him legitimately were seized. So I think this has been clumsily handled by some very overeager FBI and DOJ officials.
Yeah. They talk about the stuff not belonging to President Trump in the first place in that court filing. And I guess the passports don't technically belong to President Trump either, but that's the type of stuff we're talking about here.
The attorney-client definitely does.
The attorney-client privilege is obviously an important aspect of this.
You know, and speaking of attorneys, I'd love to get your reaction, Congressman, because everyone's wondering sort of what's Trump's next move. We know he has a big rally in Pennsylvania and Wilkes-Barre this Saturday, but he has a lawyer. He is lawyering up on this. He's former Florida Solicitor General Chris Kise is joining Trump's team, specifically with the DOJ and the FBI raid. But according to Politico, RNC is not going to pick up the tab for the legal fees here. They did pay for Trump's bills involving New York's AG probe into Trump's businesses. That's a civil litigation. And, so Trump hasn't formally declared. Any thoughts on why the RNC is backing away? And your thoughts on, who he's hired here to represent him?
I think he's got a good attorney coming in here to help him. So I think that's a positive step for President Trump. And he's had a decent team, good team. This will actually make it even better, in my opinion. So, but why would the RNC not pay it? I'm not sure. In the statement that was put out by RNC, or the maybe not the official statement, but the backward information is that they're concerned that if he declares that he's going to run in 2024, then you have potential support of a candidate. And so I think until he does declare that he's running for president, then they're probably in normal circles would be defending the president here. But be that as it may, this is obviously a political attempt by the Biden administration to basically derail and move us off the topics that I think Americans are most concerned with, which are inflation, which are high gas prices, which are border that's porous. And I think that they are really trying to turn this to President Trump. And I don't want people to forget what's happening on the reality side for most Americans, but you also can't forget what's happening here, because this is just is the latest in a long string, in my opinion, of political biased moves on the part of DOJ and the FBI.
Yeah, President Trump has been accused of obstruction before. This is not new. The circumstances might be new, but we also got to talk about the FBI and the DOJ. And Merrick Garland saying the Justice Department is now banning political appointees from participating in political campaign events. He says the move is to avoid even the appearance of political influence. It's a little too late for that, isn't it?
Yeah, the cows are out of the barn on that already, Mr. Attorney General. I think this is trying to tamp down a fire that's raging, trying to bring a hose to a house fire. Look, most Americans now believe that the FBI is working on behalf of the Biden administration, and that's from all parties. And that's not just Republicans. They're looking at that and they're saying, yeah, there's abuse going on here. You've got whistleblowers that are coming out, according to Jim Jordan, ranking member of the Judiciary Committee. More than 14 FBI whistleblowers have come out, all talking about a bias in the political bias in the FBI. Then you have a whole string of other additional actual events, whether it's Cheryl Atkinson, where the FBI was trying to plant evidence on her husband's computer. When you start getting into this, you say, there's a reason that the public doesn't trust them, and this kind of milquetoast statement on the part of Attorney General Garland is not going to walk that back. The animals are out of the barn, they're running wild, and Americans understand what's happening here, and they're very disgusted and disappointed.
They are, and I think a lot of people, as you say, are very awake to what is happening with these whistleblowers. It just growing increasingly louder, and the Congress getting louder about investigating. Tim Tebow, the FBI special agent in charge who was escorted from the building just last Friday, resigning. We're showing his picture here. Today we've learned, and he put out a media statement through his attorneys, that he expects to be fully exonerated. I found it interesting, too, that his attorney's taking up his case pro bono. Now, he's the man accused of suppressing information that would have allowed maybe a probe into Hunter Biden's laptop, and possibly even, Congressman, getting Trump supporters within the FBI who are unvaccinated fired over their vaccination status. Your thoughts on him getting a pro bono attorney and claiming he'll be exonerated?
Well, I'm always amazed at how the left sticks with each other no matter the accusation. They're going to go down with the ship with this gentleman if all these allegations prove to be true. So I'm not surprised that he's getting a pro bono attorney. But the allegations against him are part of the stench that comes out of the DOJ today. And we go back, you could go back to Crossfire Hurricane and Strzok and Page and Andy McCabe, and that whole series of individuals, and you just keep following it right on up to this guy. And you had Kleinsmith and the FISA warrants that there was perjury done to those. You start looking at this and you say, this is not surprising, but it is dangerous to a free republic. And so,
but you have to be careful, Congressman. You have to be careful, because if you bring up the fact that Kleinsmith lied to get the FISA warrant, then you're anti-law enforcement, according to Joe Biden. So just be careful. Yeah. Tread lightly. Yeah. We're not allowed to bring up the fact that the FBI lied in the process of the investigation of President Trump the last time. Otherwise,
oh, forget it.
We could be called ultra MAGA Republicans. Be careful. Just a little advice. Great to see you, Congressman Andy Biggs from Arizona. Thanks so much.
Good to have you in, sir. Thanks.